Hi, it's me, Ingrid P. And this is my moving vlog where I filmed this area because it's going to be a mess in a few hours and also that I'll maybe not see this place again. So this is what's going on. I've put all the HelloFresh boxes on top of each other with different things inside. I have my plants which I haven't put in a box, right? Because I have basilica and mint, and some other kinds of sprouts. I don't know. I'm trying to put all the clothes into these, and these are my cleaning products, which I'm still using, right? Because I'm still cleaning. I have my mini Looney Hoover, which has been really helpful. Yeah, I still have my book here, but I'm not reading it because I have too many things to do. My sofa, which is still, and I also need to move the lamp. Here's my table, which I put my backpack and a few extra bags and plugs and stuff. Apparently I will need like an extra plug thing for my refrigerator in the new place, because I just went to the new place to check it out. It's really old and not renovated. Here's my bedding. Then I have this suitcase. Then I've got my fridge, which it's still wet on the floor because I'm trying to defrost and it's a mess here. Here's all of the kitchen stuff that I still need to put into boxes. And these are the parts of the fridge that I just put onto the side. There's my microwave, Robert. His name is Robert, like his predecessor's name was Roger. And I've emptied all of the different cabinets and stuff, so it's all empty. That's great. Good job, me. Good job, me. There are the keys and stuff, so by the time I post this, I will not be in this apartment anymore. So, oh, I just stepped in a little bit of water. But yeah, so this is what's going on at the moment. In the hallway, there's a box here. There are some things. There's a sun hat. And here I've put some boxes, well, some bags basically, and my violin. And there's an IKEA bag that's popping out from over there. And I think that I still have an IKEA bag up here. I will miss the flooring in this apartment because it was really nice with the wooden floors. I will have wooden floors in my new apartments, but it will only be in the living room. The kitchen will have some weird orange kind of thing, and my bedroom will have this really awful linoleum floor. So maybe I'll need to get myself a rug or something. It does not look that great inside, but I'm thinking of just like, taking the space and making it my own. Today I went to the driving school and bought a first lesson. And she was really nice with me because I told her, like, I've tried so many times and I've never managed, and this is really feeling hopeless by now. And she was very helpful. I had to pay in advance though, so I paid for a driving lesson. And I I was thinking about like, oh, why have I not got my driver's license and I'm 28 years old? And yet I'm a doctor, you know? And I think that it's because autism and ADHD as disabilities, hidden disabilities, means that we are sometimes good and sometimes not good. And there are certain things that we might be skilled at and certain things that we might not be. And it will be different from each autistic or ADHD person. So some people are really great at driving and they're really suck at maintaining a job, you know? Or some people absolutely suck at showering, while others shower way too much because they have OCD, or, you know, or, you know, that there are many ways to be disabled. And just because I'm not disabled in a way that would make sense to other people, it still is the case. That's still my reality. So what I did is that I actually said to the person at the reception desk, I said, yeah, I'm in the diagnostic process for ADHD, and that's why it's taking me a very long time to get my driver's license. And I didn't need to give an excuse, but I know that she kind of raised her eyebrows when she saw my personal number has my date of birth on it, so she knows how old I am. And also, like, she wanted to know why I hadn't managed with my driver's license before, because, well, it might be helpful for me in the future for being able to take my driver's license now, if I know, like, where I went wrong. And the thing is, I am really good at the theory. I can study very hard, but the practical, I've done it 3 times, I haven't managed. And it's always different things. And I do get nervous when it's time to do the driving, but also I just sometimes make mistakes, and they are really, really strict. And I know that it's important that we don't like drive into people and such, but they have such high rules for newbies, and not as much, like, they have tons of tolerance for people who have lots of experience in this. You know, I see people do dumb stuff all the time, and they don't get anything for it. But yes, I don't want it to be a danger for people in traffic, right? But, you know, I don't think that the things that I messed up during my driving was actually bad, or like that I could have killed someone. I don't think that that's what happened. But anyway, I know that if I do have ADHD and autism, okay, maybe my autism would help slightly in like the following of the rules and stuff. And, you know, getting the routines in and everything. But my ADHD prevents me from focusing on the right stuff. Like, I focus on the wrong stuff. And that's what Trevor Noah, in the video that I put in my community page, he was saying that he had ADHD and depression. And I realized, like, well, first of all, he's my favorite celebrity of all time. I really, really like Trevor Noah. He always makes me laugh, and at the same time, he can be really deep. That's why I also like Stephen Colbert, because he can be really deep while also being a very funny comedian. But I think Trevor Noah wins in the fight between Colbert and Trevor Noah. But Trevor Noah has ADHD, and that explains quite a few things. Sorry. I don't have my normal tripod situation because I put that in the boxes. But I think that the ADHD does mean that I focus on the wrong things. And I mean, it is good to scan your environment when you're driving so that you see all of the different dangers and such. But the point is that you're not supposed to focus on any one of these for too long, because then you are missing other things. And also, you have to focus on the road and on a lot of things at the same time, which I have a hard time doing. And my autism prevents me from doing many things at the same time. In my brain, I can't do a lot of multitasking. And also I get really stressed. And also if something happens, then like I get a shard or something in my finger, or there's a bird flying by or something, I'm supposed to just like let it go without being fazed, and that is very hard. So I wouldn't say like I'm the stereotypical ADHD person who's like, oh, it's a squirrel. But I do have my mind wander for those few milliseconds, and that can be really bad when I'm in traffic. I think that in general I drive okay. But when I'm also really, I have a lot of difficulty with making decisions, which a lot of driving is, making decisions all the time and making decisions in advance, planning your driving. That's very difficult for me. Another thing that is difficult is the planning of the driving lessons. I can't do that. I've tried for maybe 5+ years to work out a system that works, but I seem to not be able to work and do driving at the same time. And obviously you're not doing both at the same time, but I mean that I'm doing driving lessons in the evening and working during the daytime. That doesn't work. I need to take time off work in order to drive, which, you know, is not ideal. And that's always how it's been in my life. Like people are like, yeah, you know, but like doing different things will help you in your other things, you know, like if you exercise, you will have more brain power to study. And like I can get that, you know, but often it's like if I don't sit there for hours and hours studying, and I have to do something else, then I can't get back into the study mode. Or like if I've been working all day, I need to rest when I come back home. I can't do driving, which is extremely stressful for me. And that's why exposure therapy is kind of iffy when it comes to autism, because exposure therapy is good. It's really good for social anxiety, but when it comes to autism, autism is a disability. You can't CBT your way through a disability. You can't make me like phone calls more by, like I'm more able to do phone calls because I don't get the stress of the phone call as much. But phone calls will still always be more difficult for me, you know? And that's just social anxiety, you know, and social anxiety is good with CBT. But autism, you can't treat autism with CBT. So there was a YouTube creator who was talking about going to the airport as somebody with autism. And that's not really exposure therapy, because exposure therapy is like fixing your negative automatic thoughts that don't correspond to reality. But if you have sensory sensitivities, then you are a sensory, like you can't stop being sensitive to these things. And also if you have to work really hard just to manage through normal social interactions, then you don't, then like, you know, spending the energy on trying to do the CBT things isn't always positive, and it isn't always good. I've talked about this before, but I am really like, I have very low support needs. I don't need a lot of support. But part of that is also because I live in a country where the car isn't number one priority, you know? Like, I can live in my little town without a car. It's not that easy compared to living in Stockholm, which is a big city. But it is a very nice, like, I don't need to drive a car in order to go to the grocery store. I don't need to drive a car to get to work, and for my basic necessities. So I'm able to live like this. But if I was in the US and I was like this, then I would be significantly more disabled. If I worked at a job where I had to present myself very professionally and have makeup and professional clothes and shower daily and that kind of thing, then I would have a hard time keeping that job, and I might be unemployed, you know, right now. But because at my work I can wear scrubs, I don't need to have impeccable lifestyle and appearance, you know. I don't need to have freshly pressed suits or dresses every morning. Then I am less disabled, you know. And that's the social model of disability, is that it's a society that makes us disabled and not medical problems with us. I do think that we do have medical problems if we have autism, because we are more sensitive to stimuli. But society doesn't make it better, because the stimuli is quite a lot. I tried to film this video outside and there were a lot of motorcycles and I could not concentrate. I started getting a headache because of all the motorcycles, so I had to go inside. So yeah, all this to say that I'm trying to make peace with the fact that it's difficult for me to get my driver's license, even though I am a doctor, even though I am, you know, able to take care of myself, like eat and sleep, and, you know, I am able to keep a job, and I'm able to make friends and that kind of thing, but I am having an extremely difficult time with driving. I'm having a hard time with showering regularly. I do shower, okay, don't worry about that, but it goes several days before I shower, and like I'll clean under my arms and like I'll do like kitty cleaning, like a kitten, you know. I will just do the most sweaty parts, but actually showering and cleaning my hair and such, that I reserve for after a few days, you know. And so it depends on what skill you're talking about. It depends on what chore I have to do or what I want to do. And so I shouldn't be feeling bad about not being able to drive a car when other people with autism and ADHD might be able to drive a car. And maybe they'll find like driving a car is the most exciting thing in their life and they love being in their car, which I can see, you know. I would love being in a car. Like, I like being in a car when I'm not driving. And I think that I would like driving a car once I have my license. It's the getting the license bit that is difficult. Um, but I think that we need some compassion for each other, because so as much as I envy those kinds of people who can drive a car, other people envy me for having a job as a doctor. Um, you know, instead of envying each other, um, we should try to be nice to each other about not everybody is capable of doing everything that you can in your life. Um, so, and that's okay, you know? It doesn't make them bad people. I know a lot of people are like, ugh, you're a bad person for not showering every day. Like you're morally corrupt, and you know, there's this association with being unclean and being morally dirty as well, you know. And then there's also the fact that car driving is so linked to independence. And so it's like, oh, you don't drive a car, you're not independent. And it's like, I am independent in many other ways. I mean, some people still live with their parents, and that's also fine. I don't, because I wanted to live in Sweden and my parents are still in France. But if I had stayed in France, maybe I would have stayed at home for quite a longer time, and that would have been fine as well, because I have an okay relationship with my parents and such. The thing is, the house that they live in is a chaos, but that's against the point. What I mean is that there's nothing wrong with living with your parents for a long time. There's nothing wrong with not being able to drive a car. There's nothing wrong with not being able to organize your space. But like, we need to strive to be healthier people, to be people who are always trying to grow, you know. But at the same time, a disability is a disability for a reason. And also, you don't even need to be disabled to have difficulties in certain areas. We all have different skills. It's just that I feel such embarrassment just going through the door of a driving place, because a lot of 18-year-olds are there, you know, taking their driver's license. And then there's me. I do look young, but still, yeah. I can't really disclose to the driving instructors that I'm a doctor, because yeah, I want them to take care of me a little bit. I want them to be nice to me. Also, when you have ADHD, you can have something that's called rejection sensitive dysphoria, RSD, which means that you're extremely sensitive to criticism, which makes you very sensitive. And that's not well seen, right? Because, you know, sensitive is not good. Being sensitive to criticism is even less good. It's pretty bad. But, you know, I just need to have some time to regulate my emotions. And unfortunately, I can't get accommodations for the sorts of problems I have with driving in order to get a driver's license. Basically, people don't want disabled people to drive, because there is a risk for, you know, an accident. If you can't focus on the road, then you will get into accidents. So I understand that it has to be a little bit hard to get a driver's license, but they could make it easier, you know? Do they really need to put the radio on? They want to like distract you as like a test. But like, if you're never going to drive with a person talking in the background because you live alone and just want to drive your car alone, then why include that on the test, you know? Or, you know, there are certain things that they could accommodate. They already do accommodate the theoretical, but that's not something that I need help with. You can have extra time, or you can have audio description on the written exam. But on the practical exam, it's like you're on your own, you know? You can't really get accommodations for that. And thing is, also driving instructors are often really mean in their criticism. I have had okay driving instructors that have been very helpful, but some are extremely tough and rough, and I will start crying, and then like my whole rest of my driving lesson will be messed up, which cost extremely a lot of money. It cost me $80 just for one driving lessons, and that's just a test drive, you know. So I'm not sure how this is going to go, but I want people to know that it is possible to do things in life, and just because a person is disabled in one way, like that they can't do a certain thing, doesn't mean that they can't do another thing by extension, you know. Like I'm perfectly capable of doing my doctor's duties, meeting patients, finding out their diagnosis, all of that. I find that extremely interesting and exciting. But I also find driving interesting and exciting, but I also find it extremely worrying and stressful, because I am not good at it. And those things can coincide. Like the skills that you use in driving are not the same skills as you use in taking care of patients. The skills that you use in organizing your apartment is not the same as the skills that are used in you know, cleaning even, you know. There are so many different things. There are skills of like you can go to a party but you can't give a presentation, or vice versa, you know. Or you can speak in small groups but you can't speak in big groups, or you can socialize with people that you don't know and then you bulk when it comes to intimacy. There are all sorts of different combinations, and everything is okay. It doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't make you an immoral or stupid or lazy person. It's just that your brain is wired in a different way, and you have difficulty where other people find things easy. Like, you know, I can speak 3 languages. That comes naturally to me, because I grew up learning those languages. But when it comes to like learning financial stuff, I feel like I don't know how to put 1 + 1 together, you know? And it's all okay. These things don't always make sense to other people who are not in your head. Even people who are close to you, like your friends, your family, might not understand. Because they're like, well, you can do this so well, so why can't you do this? And yeah, it is a little bit embarrassing because, like, my boss doesn't understand how I can do such a good job at work while not being able to drive a car, you know? Which puts the idea into people's brains that I am not responsible person. But yeah, that's all I will say for today. I need to get back to cleaning this place, which, yeah, is going okay, but I now was reminded of how not great the place that I'm moving at is, but it's okay because I can hide the walls with collage. Okay, first of all, the walls have a lot of holes in them and such. I can hide the floor with a rug. I don't have any rug, unfortunately, but I can always buy a rug. And I need to buy a weighted blanket and such, and like make the place cozy for me, and I can do that. I am actually quite okay at moving, and that is something that I have practiced a lot. I couldn't do it without accommodations, without help. So I'm going to be getting help from two strong men, basically, who are going to help me. You know, we all need help in a certain way. Like for me, putting things in boxes is fine. You know, people don't see negatively on people getting a cleaner before you move, but I'm doing all the cleaning on my own because this is quite a small apartment, so I think I'm managing, you know. But you know, we should take all the accommodations that we need, and because neurotypical people need help too. You know, neurotypical people, they routinely get their friends to drive them to the airport. I know that there's a whole discourse about should you drive your friends to the airport or not. My Italian friend is really into driving people to the airport all the time, because that's the culture that I came from. In Sweden, it's kind of like you're on your own, basically, which really sucks. Because I wish I could get help with certain things. But I am able to do these things independently. But yeah, so that is what's making me excited about my move tomorrow, is that I have my friends helping me out, and they are extremely excited about it, which helps me dread it a little bit less. And so if you have difficulties, sometimes there isn't any help available, but if there is help available, please don't be ashamed to get that help. So yeah, that's all I had to say for today. So bye, guys.